which led us to a figure of around 8,819 crores. Now taking into consideration the kind of manipulation and escalation which has happened with respect to the Jica loan of Goa, which was escalated to nearly 91% like the way Avinash mentioned, and like the way he still mentioned to extrapolate, then we can conveniently say that this Jica scam, when considered all over India, would amount to nothing less than 30,000 crores. Considering the yen to rupee fluctuation, the escalations included in the illegalities, the understandings between the contractors and the officials and the ministers. Now we'll come to the people involved as per us. At the state level, it would be the finance ministers, the PWD minister, the finance secretary, the PWD secretary, the project directors of Jica, the state level executive committee, the project implementation unit, and the PWD level coordination committee at respective years. At the national level, it surely would include the ministers and secretaries of around 10 ministries, including ministers of finance. That would include Chidambaram, Manmohan Singh, Pranab Mukherjee, and also Jetli, taking into consideration that BJP has been there for around 1 year. If Mr. Jetli surely doesn't have an inkling of this, then maybe our press conference is going to open his eyes. It would also include the chief representative of Jica in India all these years, and also all the contractors who are involved in this scam. Now, we would all the people of Goa would be wondering. We've taken a press conference over 5 days. We've exposed one reality every day. So what is UGF going to do? The United Goans Foundation will initially be approaching the CBC. It will be approaching the Enforcement Directorate. We will also appeal to the CBI to take over, and if need be, the courts, so that we take this to a logical conclusion. We have all seen how contractors do shoddy work like yesterday, how there are no checks and balances from the government side, and the ministers and babus are just busy counting the money, and they're seemingly not bothered. Absolutely. We told you yesterday that there would be a big revelation today and not to miss it. I think we've got your attention now. 30,000 crores is a lot of money. We did promise you that 5 days will be interesting, and I think we've done our job well. But somehow along the way, even though we have taken such pain and we've gone into the details of this scam, a lot of times we've observed that the fourth pillar of the Indian democracy, that is the media, has somehow not understood the intensity of what we wanted to put out to the people. Sometimes we have seen, the past few days we have seen that a 1 crore scam finds mention on a first page, but a 600 crore scam of Goa doesn't find mention at all. We are not blaming you people present here at all. We are actually thankful for you being present here, because we do understand that you all are basically you do not decide what comes on the newspaper the next day. So thank you so much. The UGF, the United Goans Foundation, was born out of the commitment of all the members present here towards Goa. There are quite a few more public-spirited Goans who have now joined hands. And when I mean Goans, I do not mean only people who have been born in Goa. I mean people whose hearts beat for Goa. There might be people who have come from other parts of Goa or maybe the world. But we have seen and we've had examples of people who are really interested in the benefit of Goa, who slog, who do things which affect Goa directly. So, so Goa, my friends, is one of the most beautiful parts of India. You can call it a real paradise. Over the years, it has been denigrated. If we do not protect it now, there might be nothing left of it tomorrow. So the United Goans Foundation now calls upon all those public-spirited Goans to rise up and be counted. And surely the United Goans Foundation needs a lot of more hands, because we have seen the kind of intensity and the work which our members have carried on for the past 10 days to unearth this scam. And we need more hands if we do want to see a change in Goa, and also if we want to protect whatever is left of Goa. Thank you so much.
There's only one point that needs to be added here is 100 crores plus 1,000 crores. We are going to pay 1,000 crores more for poor quality of work. That is very, very important to remember. That means even after paying 1,700 crores, we are not going to get good quality work. At the end of it, we do not know how long those pipes are going to last down there. How much of sewage is going to leak into the ground, nobody knows. That was brought up yesterday about the quality of work and how the work was being carried out. Right.
Any questions you would like to ask?
So sir, is it about Louis Berger's scam or Jica scam? Is there a scam?
Louis Berger, for all we know.
There is a Jica scam, alright, all India.
Because the fund is, the project is funded by Jica. So we cannot straightforward blame Jica. All the our officials who are executing the work, they are very well in our state or in our country.
So I hope you understand the biggest scam, or let's start small. There is the bribery scam of Louis Berger. Then there is a question of Louis Berger got a contract with Neon Sudo. That's a thing. Then you're talking about if you the consultancy just one part of all the projects in Goa. Alright? So that's why for simplicity we are calling it the Goa Jica scam. Just for simplicity. Then you have similar issues in other states like Assam, Kerala, how we are.
It is also again Louis Berger.
No.
Assam also is again Louis
Yeah, it is again Louis Berger.
Louis Berger.
But why Jica should be involved is that a son usually cannot do anything without the father understanding how the money he has given is spent. So let's be clear about one thing. Japan gives a loan in million yen, right? That is calculated at that time in the year when the estimate was made.
No, so there would have been agreement. And they
Agreement
must
is
have-
fine, but tell me something, why would a country...
No, they must have considered the fluctuations in this even the agreements and signed in terms of dollar also.
What is happening? We had not come the last 4 days, I think. We had explained why Jica was involved with Vachasundar's appointment. Yes, he was not supposed to continue once he became a principal project engineer. He could be a project director as long as he was the chief engineer one. But his mandate was extended to as a project director when he got promoted to principal engineer and post-retirement also. On whose recommendation? Jica's recommendation. So that's where Jica comes in. Now, this is just one case where Jica officials directly involved with Goa. What we are getting the last day, 2 days back, was in terms of the inflation done as a result of currency exchange. In 2012, India got the most rupees for that amount of year. So we have shown in Goa that they got extra 600 rupees, whereas 600 crores. 600 crores.
So this is another dimension of
Another dimension.
crime being investigated by crime branches.
Exactly.
So have you,
it is not just a bribery
have
anymore.
you demanded for the investigation be handed over to CBI?
We had demanded from day one. Actually, we have also shown, rather we have questioned the reason why crime man was involved. So we have
Because
done.
as per the government, some preliminary investigation is to be done and then it would be handed over to CBI.
Yeah, so preliminary investigation to do what? To destroy the files?
No, actually, this is why
We've seen in the Vasco case.
This is why we had taken the press conference over 5 days. Because there are so many dimensions to it that one day would not have sufficed. So this today is specifically about it. So probably because if we are not there for any one of these days, to understand how this whole thing works is going to be a little difficult. So you'll have to go through the previous, if anybody
We have our recordings. You can always
you
share
can
it.
always share it. Because it's a huge scam. Even 5 days is not enough. If you go in each state, again we'll need another month to cover it.
Okay, so because likewise,
Are you happy with the way it is being
what is being investigated? Nothing. We are.
That's what I'm trying
No,
to.
what will happen? I mean,
Just want to know from you. Are you?
Definitely not.
we want to ensure. See, now files are not even accessible to us. So, what is the investigation? To hide everything?
Only 18 files.
No, and specifically now that I just read in the newspapers today about the SPP saying that we'll even approach the Supreme Court. Now, if for one file you're going to approach the Supreme Court, try to understand the kind of money which the Goa government is paying. Can't we actually afford to send someone to the US directly to coordinate with the US authorities and get the information? Then you have put, see, let's understand that Digambar Kamath will not go anywhere because the passport is with the authorities. I believe so. Vijay has gone abroad, that's a completely different question. Yeah? Valanka. Okay. So all this, taking all this thing into consideration, even if he's out for 10 days, how does it matter? You get the facts on board and put him inside directly. You don't have to beg in front of the judge saying that we want his custody. What? For what? Custody for what is the most important thing?
What is happening now? Goans want to see Digambar Kamath and Churchill going to jail. Yes, we also want that. Investigate what we are talking about. You will send them for years, not just for.
Including the present government.
But
Yeah.
we send them both that and this government for years instead of maybe how many months they'll get if at all they are convicted also.
And we want recovery of all those funds, no? They should come back to the
The
people.
way of bribery is just some 4 crores.
Yeah.
We are talking about 600 crores. Where's the money gone? And now that we've spoken about 30,000 crores of whatever, 89,000, that's around
Total
30%.
India is 86,000 crore, no?
I have this just photograph.
What is the in the 5-day process? You are 5 days complete to describe everything from different angles. But someone who is not being able to keep up with the 5 days.
Can you give us a day or two? Because by Monday we'll do it.
No, I'm saying in a nutshell, if you could explain to a new reader, someone who has not been following the case, someone who is
See, that will be, I mean, first to do, see, once you all know it, once, what is the purpose? Not, we knew practically it is not possible to cover all 5 days in the detail that we are giving to everybody. Our primary objective was also to educate you guys. Now, you might not cover, you might not cover. Tomorrow when you go to question authority, you have enough knowledge to ask them about these things. And we hope that all of you are going to do it. So, this is a lot of work. It is beyond our expertise, but still we broke our heads, simplified it so that you guys can anytime off your head of the question all these ministers and politicians. The moment they say bribery of 2 crores, what about bribery of 600 crores? What about scam of 600 crores? We want those questions out to be asked to them. So we will put all this information together on the web as well as whichever medium. If anybody wants to do a whole cover story, most welcome to contact us. Okay,
So we put all the things, all the data
all the
together.
data together and give it to you.
And it's not that we need some specific.
What will be your future course of action now?
Like
Are
we-
you mobilizing people from Goa? So
See,
that you can
if
have
we
a big-
are mobilizing people,
you
It
can
depends
have a
on
big-
the.
so that you can have a big education like once we had for SEZ.
No, see, first of all, we are too stretched. We are dealing with many issues. Next week also we have to, there are other issues that we have to bring up. The school week has taken our time. So mobilizing people right now is very difficult for us.
people are free to approach us anytime.
But I hope we need first thing is education. See, we don't want to say, come, there's a 600 crore scam. Understand what the 600 scam is.
आणि हांगा कशें आसा ह्या टेक्निकली असो इशू आसा न्ही टेक्निकल ताका लोकांचें मोबिलायजेशन आसा पूण मोस्ट ऑफ ते वे फॉलो जावपाक जाय
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it is
So
what
as
we
people read the newspapers and begin to understand that something is very wrong, they'll automatically come on board. We are already getting a lot of
So
calls.
you should be approaching enforcement directly.
Yeah, because it's all about money laundering here. So it will be either under FEMA or FERA. So one of the things, we are not financial consultants here. Our figures might be wrong to some percentage. But yes, when we spoke about 30,000 and 609, someone else, the 609 was, that question was raised by some other journalist also about in 2012. So now we think that, okay, fine, we are still aligning to those thoughts.
So whatever figures and these papers we have, with those papers and all, you will be approaching the CTI.
Exactly.
So that,
See, all this time, it was a bribery-related case. And from day one, we have said that for us, it is not a bribery-related case. You all handle the bribery related case. We don't have any issues. We don't have any information as far as bribery is concerned. What we have are basically facts as far as the Jica scam is concerned.
We had to get it out.
And the CBI also has a very specific mandate. It cannot interfere in state issues. But in this, the central ministry is involved. So we do not trust the Goa crime branch or Goa CID or Goa whatever enforcement guys to do any justice to what we want to see. Because like the way Avinash said, imagine you take a loan in 2007 which was around 709 crores. In 2012 that same money converted had reached around 1,356. Imagine in Goa, the minister, finance minister just has to remove that extra amount and give it back to Japan. It would have been a classic case wherein someone does all the work for us and that too for free. But what has happened now is that that work has basically fed these ministers or whoever involved to double the amount of the loan we had taken.
What is the period repaying period?
See, there are a couple of things there. One is, I believe it's around 30 years. If it's 30 or 40 years.
It's 30 years in case of this thing, environment case and all is 40.
It's 40 years. And the percentage is a bit less on environment.
It is forest and all, I think power and all is 30 years, which have direct income. But things you don't have income, it's 40 years.
And also to note that the figures of 1654324 was the actual loan disbursed. Not like Goa, the way they have shown that we've done extra and all. So God alone knows what is the actual figure as far as the scam goes. Because you will have all 10 ministries here. Then whatever states have availed the loan. Then the babus who are involved. So this would be more difficult than I believe the coal scam or something like that.
2G.
2G maybe, but not to that amount.
2G was that.